Jeremy Sockman here with one of those movies that slipped under the radar because no one knew it existed to look for it. Luckily my radar is pretty huge and I did. It's Max Reload on the Nether Blasters, and with a title like that, you probably think it's pretty obvious what it's about. But is it? Let's take a look. Max Jenkins is just your average retro video game store employee, online gamer, supercomputer programmer, and perpetually late bicycle rider, with the required one fat guy and one cute girl who he doesn't realize secretly loves him pals. When his boss Kevin Smith locks himself away in a room to play with a new VR suit, Max is the only one on staff when a mysterious stranger leaves a console and game to trade in. Wait a minute, it's a game that's not supposed to exist, Nether Dungeon, and when he streams himself playing it, he gets mad cred. But his nemesis uploads the game online and it starts to infect people with the glowing red eye disease.
Reggie, hey! Slow down! Liz, you good?
No, I mean his eyes are glowing red!
Seems the game was possessed, and Max and pals seek out the original creators Eugene and Barton, who'd fallen out in the 80s, to stop the evil Harbinger from unleashing a bunch of bad stuff. Of course, the only way to stop him is by blasting the baddies with Nether Blasters and having a poorly choreographed showdown inside a video game, where the three pals will finally learn to work together as a team, like we always knew they would. Spoiler alert, they defeat the boss and get mad XP. But is there going to be a sequel?
The game is called the Nether Realm VR. Okay, write that down. Nether Realm VR, and it's a way for us to take the Nether series to the next level.
Now, if you're the kind of person who likes to play spot the video game reference when you watch movies, then you'll find lots to like here. But if you look at an Xbox and say X marks the what, then you might be a little lost. But that's okay, because the people behind this one weren't trying to teach you about gaming, they were trying to teach you about gamers. You see, Max Reload on the Nether Blasters wants to make sure the world knows that gamers aren't just wasting their own lives living in virtual worlds, they're also total social outcast losers. Eugene and Barton were famous game creators who couldn't get along and ruined their own lives over petty jealousies. Eugene's in his 50s and living with his mom, while Barton is a raging drunk. They're case studies to show you how you'll end up, but the rest of the gang are examples of what you are. Reggie is overweight and headed for an early diabetic grave. Liz is into dating jerks that treat her like scum while pining over the hot delivery driver's body. Then you have Max. He's a jerk, possibly autistic, oblivious to all social cues, perpetually late, and a pretty bad teammate until the fate of the entire world is at stake and he really has no choice. And they're the heroes.
You two morons are so alike, you know that? You both think that you're the center of the universe. You deserve to be lone wolves. Together. Alone. Whatever.
But what really sells the negative perception of gamers you're supposed to take in comes from Chuck, played by Kevin Smith. This was a bit of stunt casting. The directors, Scott Conditt and Jeremy Tremp, wanted to use the most miserable, awful, pathetically unfunny shell of a man clinging to past glories and unable to face the reality that he has no discernible talent anymore other than just being a vapid stoner moron in the role of the doofus store boss, to show you that even someone who has what many gamers would consider a dream job is still a waste of organs in a hockey jersey and jorts. Hammer, I present you Nail.
Wow. This virtual mall is amazing, man. And I am a virtual mall rat.
Max Reload on the Nether Blasters was a pretty subversive movie, using the most obvious gaming tropes to undermine the entire hobby and all those who follow it. It takes some major BFCs to pull that off, and that's why I'm Jeremy Sockman, and I'm giving Max Reload on the Nether Blasters anti-gamer knockout blow my seal of approval.
Nerds is an old school term, but it's now become empowered.
GTFO.
It's great to be a nerd. It's great to be a nerd. The only light we ever see is from our monitor. We argue about comic books and internet connections. The biggest highlight of the year is the Star Trek convention. Our town wasn't big enough to sign up any stars, but we once met a Richard who was phasered by a Borg. Ben, you knew Mr. Sulu. What? It's great to be a nerd. It's great to be a nerd. We wear our Star Trek uniforms and talk like Captain Kirk. We have our own heroes who we try to emulate. I dream of one day being as sexy as Bill Gates.